man. We up. Man, how y'all doing this morning? How you doing? All right. Let me see what's in the news. Okay. Let's put some light on the situation. All right. Here we go with this shit. They tell me what they can't do. So, I'm seeing there is oh my God, what is it called? Give me a second, I gotta bring it back. I'll send out a text. But family, great morning to you. Trying to be on time just a little bit, working with what I got, And so I want to greet y'all. We had a nice show, a great show last night, and that shit went over 2 hours. And so of course I got to bed late, and now I'm suffering the consequences. The black signal has went out, and I want to greet everybody that's joining us, that's going to join us on Spreaker as well as Facebook. All right, I'm having more and more problems with Facebook, so eventually we may have to just totally leave this platform. All 10 of us, you know what I'm saying, and meet up somewhere else on a regular basis. But I'm trying to wait till this new piece of technology come out, because it's supposed to hit soon, and I want to be able to use that. So, great Ujima to all those out there that's out there, right? So make sure you get your water. What's up, brother Kwame? Great Ujima to you, my brother. All right, here we go. Where we at? I want to welcome you to the Congregation of the Mighty. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. This is a Heart of a Simmer production, and you are now listening to the Daily Toast. Well, daily we gather to blow up, well, daily we strive to blow up your old paradigms. I gotta wash them to make sure they don't shrink and shit. So I just didn't have time to put an iron on them, and I am dragging. I had nightmares all night, and I'm just, I guess I was battling. I don't know. Something was going on, and I could not see a solution until I had somebody else's perspective. My wife told me, said, you need to check in your son's room. When I checked in my son's room, confirmation that I wasn't crazy was popping off and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, wow. All right. So I've been having nightmares all night, and like I said, sometimes we got to have those type of nights so that we can move forward, so that we can grow, so that we can actually build. Cleveland, come here, please. So let's do this. Watch that. Yeah. You gonna need. I need a thicker book than that. You've been playing games and stuff like that all this time. You can read a real book. I mean, not that that's not real, but a little bit realer than that. All right, so here we go. Drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some more. Take a breath and drink some water. Take a breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink. Or should we say, breathe, then drink. Lift your glass and pour some water. Lift your glass and pour some water. body, drink some water. Move your body. Drink, 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 drink. Move, then drink. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Toast, toast, then drink. Take your breath and drink some water. Lift your glass and pour some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, drink, move, lift. Breathe, move, lift. Take your breath. Pour some water. Move your body. Raise your glass. Alright, let's get this toast on and poppin'. Let's get it on and poppin'. We had a long conversation last night. Conversation hopefully rooted in growth and expansion. Like I said, that's part of the nightmares too. So, I just got some stuff to think about today. And I just, like I said, as long as the work is getting done. That's all. As long as the wisdom mind is getting done, as long as the lesson is getting done, or the lesson is being got, you know what I'm saying, and not being lost. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it. What? All right. Now that's no. All right. So I think you should choose a good book before I choose one for you. Because the one I got Blueprints to Black Power back here. I got a lot of Amos Wilson back here, homie. So like I said, you need to pick. You need to choose wisely. So real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. All right, so let's go and get to this toast. I ain't got too much because last night I said everything I had to say. So let's go and toast these ancestors. I'm gonna drink this water. Let me find something that y'all can listen to while I drink this water. Let's see. Here, let me see how long is my little puzzle? My mind stopper. Alright, let's do this mind stopper while I drink this water.
This is Brother Hatim. This is Brother Hatim. And I am coming to you live on Folk Tales for Grown Folks. Well, actually, it's not live. I'm experimenting with some new technology that I have. I upgraded my phone, and I'm trying to integrate my phone into my radio shows like I've been doing, but I want to try it in a different way.
Stop trying to be slick.
Is the story of the day, and I call this one of my mind stoppers. I'm gonna use this motif in different ways, but I'm gonna just use it like this, so bear with me as I tell the story. We have a 65-year-old man, and he's sitting in a bar with his friends. He's sitting with his friends talking about this young girl that he, quote-unquote, knocked off earlier in the day. He hooked up with her. She was 20 years old, and they had sex. And of course, this old man, he didn't use any protection. It just so happened that another woman walks into the bar, and she's 40 years old, And this old man shoots game at this 40-year-old woman and end up sleeping with her that night. So he slept with a 20-year-old earlier in the day, took some Viagra, and slept with the 40-year-old on that day, of course not using any protection. And he goes home. So 7 months down the line, he gets a call from the 40-year-old who says that she's pregnant and she's going to keep the baby regardless of what he thinks. Maybe 5 days later, he get a call from the younger girl talking about she was 7 months pregnant and she was going to keep the baby. What he does is he decides that, he been a player his whole life, so he decides he's going to settle down. So he don't want to settle down with a 20-year-old because that's going to be too much like raising a daughter. Then he should have stopped with her in the first place, right? But anyway, he decides he's going to settle down with the 40-year-old. So he hooks up with the 40-year-old and he explained his situation. At the same time she's pregnant, there's another girl pregnant. 40-year-old woman is cool with that and she's willing to work it out. So what he does is he arranged for both of them to meet because he wants his children to be able to play together without any issues, without any craziness. So the young girl comes over, and lo and behold, the young girl is the daughter of the 40-year-old woman. Now, that's not the brain stopper, because I'm going to bring the brain stopper on to you. Now, so it so happens that after he make it through this rough shot right here, this rough spot, the women had the babies. He still hooked up with the 40-year-old. He solved the issue, and because he didn't know, you know what I'm saying? They didn't know. It just happened. So they work it out. Well, farther on down the line, he finds out that he went to high school with the 40-year-old's mother. And she just happened to be his girlfriend in high school. And right when he left high school, he went straight to the military. So him and her hooked up right before he left. He lost all contact with her because he stayed in the military for 10 years. She didn't contact him or anything, but he found out that she had a daughter. And guess what? The daughter was the 40-year-old woman that he's got pregnant or that he just had a child by. Now, here's the mind stopper. We know the relationship of the man and all the women, but this is my question to you. What is the relationship between the two children? How are they related? Think about it. This is called a mind stopper. If you come up with an answer or idea, hit me up and let me know. All right, this is Brother Hatim, and this is Folk Tales for Grown Folks. Peace.
We did that one, and I have to change it because now it's the relationship between the 3 children. Oh my God. It's actually 3 children. Yeah, because we can't count the granddaughter. Because that's a different generation. I mean, it's all of them different generation. But it's 3 children. What's the relationship between the 3 children? Hopefully somebody out there was, quick enough to figure out who is the 3rd child. What's the relationship between the 3 children? All right, because I missed that whole shit right there. It's actually the relationship between the 3 children. So let's go and do this. Let's do this libation. So first off, giving honor to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call a Creator. We lift up our glass and we salute our Creator, the very first ancestor, by whatever name you choose to call the ancestor. And we lift up the glass and we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move on to the stars of the show. We call on our personal ancestor, and we have some new ancestors added to the list, and we will get to those momentarily. Here we go. Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert the Tex, Hunter Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilly, George and William Walton, Christopher and Gaston, Alina, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallard, Montague Pittman L, Nomo X, Pat Maya Ra, Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Algeny, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Marks, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulling, the Luxor Brothers, Miss Edith Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDonald, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Carol Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trade, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Renderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Carolyn D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bert Beatty, Sarah Well, Levita Farmer, Agosa Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Dolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Flores M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keachla Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Johns Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mitchell Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster. So I think this would be Luvinia rather than Lovinia. It's Luvinia Hall. Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quails, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quails, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Del Rita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W.S. Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martinez, Erda Amatep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Frankie Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Bina Triggs, Bina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy. Then we had DeFriedis Hines, Inez Bostic, Anna Bostic, Winifred Scantleberry, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Either Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pena Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Charles, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sissenbaugh, Hazel Gaston, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Cathy, Stacey Trash, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavers, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Haley Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Gimbal Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harriet Tubman Case, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Melly Miller, Howsey Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Coper, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nana Harris, Eva Ford, James Hairston, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earlington Houston, Let Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe, Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Vaughn, John Dewey, and Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Ramey and Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders. Got called Sister Sharika. Morel Ellis, Elizabeth Battles, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Irving, Haroon Phillips, I like how that name flows off. Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rashawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Coper, and George Swan, Edmonia Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael and Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb. So we left our glass and we say Ashe. From there, family, we move to...
Damn, Ron, come on! What's the matter with you?
Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
We are presently in Ujima. For those that don't know, those that don't speak the language, I wish you would learn it. But just in case, it's collective work and responsibility. The Ma'adik principle is righteousness. The M7 for this day is respect. The color is blue, as you see with my shirt. Vibration is the Hermetic law. Male name is Kweku. Female name is Akua. For the emotional emancipation circle, African Center Culture Virtue and Value System. In Wolof we have Yar, which is politeness and respect, particularly towards your elders. Akan ethics, obedience and respect. And from traditional Yoruba, we got Uluti, teachability. All right, remember those 6 emotions. We got powerful, peaceful, and joyful, which is the natural state that we all have the right to be in. And then we have the other emotions that let us know what's going on so that we can stay in that state, so that we can move back towards that state. So we have mad, sad, and scared. So if you're mad, ask yourself, how have you been violated? You know what I'm saying? And then once you figure that out, you need to set limits, reestablish your boundaries. Sad, ask yourself, what's the loss? Once you find out what the loss, you need support, space, time, and grieve to let go, right? And let go. And then you got scared. What's the danger? You need protection, support, reassurance. All right? So we move. In the bottom, I'm just now noticing this. Elder Wakesa gave some instructions. Tune in, feel, read your emotions. For mad, sad, and scared, ask and answer the questions. What's the violation, loss, or danger? Be specific. Proceed to row 3, the second part of the message, and do what it says. Set limits, get support or protection, etc. For joyful, peaceful, powerful, feel them, enjoy, and keep on doing what you're doing. Feeding families are like families of colors. Lots of different shades, a combination of a core family of emotions. You're talking about like the mad, sad, and scared, powerful, peaceful, and joyful. They make a color palette of emotions. All right, so let's move on. All right, so we salute this moment. We say Ashe. We lift our glass to our children, our children's children, on to infinity, and we say Ashe. From there, finally, we move to all of our relations. Of course, we toast and we say Ashe. From there, we move to the selfish libation, the selfish toast. Family, ask for what you want. We got them here. Brother Kwame say, it is a soap opera. There is more than one relationship depending on from whose perspective. Uh-oh. I missed that whole one. Clarify for me so I know, so I can get in, because I missed it, man. All right. We lift up the glass for the personal libation. We say, Ashe. Last but not least, family, I toast you, the most powerful being in the room. You, it's you. It's your marvelous self. Spectacular, fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you know it, right? Pat yourself on the back, right? Move the earth. Because you had that ability, actually. Really. Seriously. You do. Yeah. You. Right? Lift my glass to you. And we say Ashe. 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 Family, I wish you peace, power, joy, and 100 years. Alright? So look, this brother Hatim. I'm out. Got to get ready for the day. Even though the school is closed down, it does not mean that the hustle stops. I have to get ready for my young people tomorrow. Check this out, family. Let me keep my mouth shut because I don't want to ruin what I'm doing. All right. So, I will see y'all soon. Thank you for joining us. And with that, Kwame, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds if you're still on, man. Let me know what is a soap opera. There's more than one relationship depending on from whose perspective. What was we talking about? Because, I'm kind of scattered right now. All right, so I'm going to hang in there for a second. I'm going to sip on my morning sip of ambrosia. You still there, Kwame? Because you really got me intrigued with this here. Woo. Lord have mercy. This is strong. I done figured out a whole nother brewing process. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. I have never... And I'm thinking because I changed the tea. Alright, but I'll talk to y'all about this, those that want to know in private. Consider from children in utero perspective. From 20, you was talking about the Mind Stopper. The soap opera. There's more than one relationship depending on from whose perspective. Right. Consider from children in utero perspective. From 20-year-old and from 40-year-old, and then from peers' perspective. Right. The third child I was talking about. Right. You just didn't finish. You didn't figure out who the third child was. I hear you. But it's a third child in this. So you got the 20-year-old's child. You got the 40-year-old's child. And you got the 60-year-old's child. Who's the 60-year-old's child? So when I did this, it never crossed my mind until I just listened to it again. This is why I listen to stuff over and over again. It never crossed my mind that the 60-year-old child is one of the siblings. So now that throws a whole nother layer of confusion on it for me, because I've been trying to unravel the relationships, but I never thought about the third sibling. I never thought, man. Oh, man. All right. But, because it's 3 women, Kwame, right? You know that. The 20, 40, and 60-year-old. Even though I didn't mention the 60-year-old, but it's somewhere around 60, 70 years old. All right, family. But, yo, we out. All right, family. It's your brother, Tim. I'm out. Gotta get ready for this day. It's gonna be a marvelous day.